Good morning. So I'm driving now to this property, and I text the lady, and I'm on my way, except for I got to stop at her friend's and do her friend's lawn first. And then she starts this massive text stream with me when I'm trying to drive, and I end up blowing through a school zone that's supposed to be 20. I wasn't going way over, but completely forgot about it because she used a phrase that triggers me every time, and that's, well, can you give me a time? No, I don't give times. I'll allocate and dedicate whatever amount of time it takes to do a lawn properly. So if there's a lawn I'm doing before hers, as I indicated on the text, then it will take me as long as it takes. Once again, my route is strictly geographical, not chronological. The only way I can ensure a time is if I happen to be going to your house right then. And then that's subjective to whether or not I get into an accident, truck breaks down, trailer gets a flat tire, etc., etc. There's too many variables for this mandate of the allocation of time and a strict appointment that only one side of the party has to adhere to. The obligation only goes one way. So the issue is not in payment or anything. We don't have to have a meeting because of that. She leaves a vehicle on the lawn, and I get halfway out here, and then finally the text stream starts to reveal that that's the issue, is that she has a vehicle on the lawn. And well, first she says, oh, so you're gonna go mow Mary's after this? And I'm like, no, I said I'm gonna go mow your friend's prior. I don't know her friend's name. I don't know half of my customers' names. I don't give a shit. Okay. So I text back that I could be flexible somewhat because I have a couple other to mow in the area, and finally it comes through that no, there's a vehicle on her lawn, so her lawn is not available at this time to be mowed, and she's not planning on being back for an hour and a half. I don't know, it's just getting annoying. I mean, people with conditions, the big lawn crews don't accept conditions. If you have situations where your dog has to be put away, where basically you have to be there, gates have to be unlocked, you know, you get billed either way. It gets mowed around and learn next time, you know, because you can't do this. I mean, I cannot be turning around and going back the other direction. And it's nonsense. It's nonsense. And then, you know, I says, well, I'll go do the other town, and then swing back through here on the way back. It's not practical. It's not good for me. And of course, her text, okay, or K, and it's like, yeah, it's okay for you. It's not for me. I'm just wasted freaking 20 minutes of my time driving halfway out here. Alright, I'm going to the next one. So here I am fighting traffic in the opposite direction. And then the other issue is, the reason I was trying to go to that route was because one of the lawns that I mow, and I've had it on other videos, is full of clover. And it's probably as dry as it's going to get right now with the weather the way it's been. So I wanted to get it taken care of, that was with that group of lawns now, instead of risking rain later in the day, and then having the clumping and the mess to deal with. I mean, that lawn clumps if there's even a wet sneeze in its direction. It's just nuts. So there's other issues, there's reasons, there's tiny, I mean, you gotta know what you're doing in this business, and there's little reasons like that you pick your routes. So when other people like that have conditions on whether or not access to service, they're dictating without consideration of those micro conditions, micro reasonings for why you would go to one area prior to another or organization, you know. Literally, you can't run a business like this. But unfortunately, here in my area, there's a traffic jam of lawn service vehicles in the mornings. There's almost literally more lawn service vehicles and lawn service crews than there is people. So I'm taking it for now, but I'm going to restructure and maybe look at more commercial stuff. And this is where, and Ray is on Ray's Lawn Landscape in Georgia. That's where I like what he's doing. Now, I used to do the big properties, acreages too. But the nice thing about it is, the large properties, you deal with that much less customers, that much fewer customers that you have to work around their scheduling and their issues. In fact, if I was doing his scenario, I would probably consider getting a wide acreage mower with the bat wings and maybe even an air-conditioned cab with a diesel mower engine, and just say on a 10-acre, 15-acre parcel, start at crack of dawn, not even use employees, keep doing the spraying like he's doing to knock down on the trimming. And that wide area mower will cover what 2 or 3 zero turns will cover easy, and then have a smaller zero turn for detail work, and you save all of your money for yourself instead of putting money into the pocket of employees that'll hold you up every morning and make you so you can't get out there early. I mean, he's in his scenario, he understands his scenario, so I'm sure he's doing what he needs to do, but I'm thinking that I would try that differently. But the reason I quit doing acreages is my machines are all gas-powered, carbureted machines. And they, the yards are all sandy. So you're churning sand the whole time. You can't get through one 10-acre parcel without having to change blades. And the people here didn't pay like they're paying up there. It would be unheard of to ask $600 on a cut here. Like, once again, people made their money a long time ago for the most part here in Florida, and they can't cut loose of that. It's not like you're working for somebody who's got a continuous cash stream. They're working on fixed income here. So, and what I consider them large parcels to be is machine killers. That's what I call them. Because I'd have a nice 72 set up perfectly the way I wanted it. Good engine, good deck. And I'd tell my friend, I'd say, I can either mow residentials and use this mower for the rest of my life and not have trouble, or I could keep doing these things and I'll be replacing this mower in 4 or 5 years. So that was one of the determinations I made to do it. Of course, the money, like I said, wasn't the same on income, but when you're replacing a mower over 4 or 5 years because of the type of properties you're doing, you've got to make a big chunk on each lawn. So that's why I quit the large properties. So I'm finally getting back to where I started at, some 20 minutes ago. Super annoying. Puts me into either poor weather conditions later in the day, more traffic, a lot more heat. I gotta change something. It's just, the weather jerked me around for 2 days straight, right? Now I got a continuation of customers jerking me around. So I don't know exactly how to do this, If you got any ideas, comment below. I mean, at some point I'm just going to have to be firm and say, to these people, I'll just not be able to take care of your lawn because it doesn't fit with my business model. My business model is to get out there and hammer them out, yard to yard, to lawn to lawn to lawn. So if I'm running a half an hour early because I busted my tail, but the sixth person down the line says that he needs to have an appointment, he or she, needs an appointment, an appointed time. What am I supposed to do? Sit in the truck and waste the half hour that I gained with my hard work, waiting for them to be up and around, or put their dog in the cage, or whatever there is conditions to access for service. It doesn't work at all. And like I said in another video, even if they paid you triple what you normally would charge, it'll sooner or later it'll come back to bite you, because you'll be there, you'll be ready to be there early and have to stand down, or you'll be late and or you'll be late running on your route, have to pull off of that set, drive clear from another town to meet your obligation, which, like I said, is always a one-way obligation. Look how tall that grass is. And then after you meet the obligation, because they want a strict adherence to time, then you have to turn around and waste fuel and time to drive back to where you once were. All right, I'm going to get on this lawn. All right, I'm going to hit this. Normally there's cars parked right over there, so I'm going to hit that first. That'll save me a lot of weed eating. So you always got to think like that. Say, if I don't do that area first, then the guy will come in, and then there'll be a car to weed eat around. That dude was going like 60 mile an hour. Didn't even try to move over a little bit, or change lanes, or slow down. What the hell? I mean, look at this shit. Well, that guy's going decent. But would you go past somebody on the side of the road, like in this scenario, at 60 mile an hour? The speed limit through here is only 35, I think, maybe 40. So So you can see it all clumped up, and I knew that was going to happen. That was another reason that I had my schedule the way I did, because I knew this property on a 2-week schedule was not a good candidate for being cut early in the morning. Now, because of that lady, I'll have to run the mower over this again after I get done with the weed eating. That way the clippings have time to dry out a little bit and they'll feather out real nice. But I'm just thinking that I could have got away with a single pass on that lawn if I could have chose my own scheduling. And that's the issue, in that next year I'm going to have a strict set of rules where there can't be physical restrictions on access to the lawn. There can't be time restrictions on access to the lawn, and there's not going to be time type appointments, because when you let people that don't know nothing about your business and don't care anything about your business control your business, you're not going to have very much business. You're not going to have a good business. So that's got to change. Well, there it is, done. It still is a little clumpy, but even after the cross pass, the second pass. But that's what happens when you have one customer dictating the events for all the other customers. Because I wouldn't have mowed this one this early. This would have been more strategically coordinated with conditions. So, and then now I'm going to a different town, and you watch, by the time this is all over, she'll be hounding me as to when I'll be back there. Well, the way I do it is I give each property the amount of time and attention it needs to have the quality that I have as a set standard. So, you know, there's no way to know that. And I guess it'll probably end up being a big hairy deal, because now that, you know, we're in this scenario of me waiting on her, waiting on me, somebody's going to get pissed. Well, I'm already pissed. You know, I'm always mad. So don't worry about that. But yeah, it's going to turn around. So I may not be back over here till afternoon, well into the afternoon, at which point now I'll be the inconvenience to her. So I don't know. Like I said, next year I won't be having these problems, because I won't accept any of these. It'll be clear cut in that I offer quality work, fair price, and I do not accept restrictions on access. See, they cleared these 2 lots. Look at that. And this is habitat for you. This is how they work. And they didn't bother to take down that dead tree, which is going to fall on the neighbor's fence. If I was to purchase that home, I would make sure that that house closing didn't go through until that tree was gone. And it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to take that tree out once the house is built there. Why they didn't take it out when they had the equipment in there, I have no clue. But I guess it's really none of my business. Yeah, so I'll quit griping on that. I'm getting on to some more lawns, and we've got good weather conditions. So make sure you catch this next video. It's coming out either today or tomorrow, on some issues of a press release from Exmark that may affect people in a negative way. What I would think would be a design issue on their mowing decks. So I'll be putting out a video to detail the issue that came up from their representative. Got this one done. That's a cute little property. You notice I edged the street. Sharp, crisp edges on the driveway. That's what's brought me more business than anything, is my edging. So I'm going to do a video on